Hello Cancer, great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Cancer. Sorry about that. One of the things I'm getting for you is I feel like a lot of you have a very strong soul connection with another person. And I feel almost as if over time this relationship itself has outgrown its purpose. So it's basically when someone has overstayed their welcome. For a lot of you, this might just be family members, but it's basically when someone has overstayed their welcome in our lives and the relationship has turned somewhat toxic, somewhat one-sided. And what I mean by that is we all have soul contracts and we meet one another through soul contracts. And the karma is what allows us to have, families, children, and marriage and things like that. And sometimes we have to learn these lessons and we move on. Sometimes these karmic soul connections and soul contracts do not last a lifetime. We get together, we learn, and we move on, okay? And a lot of the times as a water sign, you have trouble letting go of the past and to move on. And that is I feel like a Cancerian trait. A lot of the times too, it's like old ways, old behaviors, old customs, old ways of doing that are no longer serving your purpose in the current time, in the current environment. So it's really important for you to reassess what really works and what is hindering your progress, your movement forward, and also seek out new avenues to allow you to move forward with new things. I do feel for a lot of you there are strong emotional attachments to things and people. Going back to the yearly reading, I believe I mentioned for Cancers to close some doors. I feel the same message is coming through, and it's funny, the new phase in the calendar year, as well as new energies, as well as a new season and a new phase in your own life cycle, in your own life path, in terms of learning new lessons and letting new people in, letting new energy in, so that you can start on a new path for yourself. So I feel like a lot of these past karmic relationships need to be re-examined, just so that you can figure out what doors you need to close and which ones you want to open, okay? There's a lot of, I feel there might be some health issues surrounding a few of you, and a few of you might have like recurring health issues. So this is not going to apply to all. Don't freak out. A few of you might have recurring health issues, and this is a good month for you overall to get some proper treatment, to begin a treatment regime to basically figure out what's causing it, what's triggering it, or at least to get proper diagnoses so that things can come to an end and things can be put to rest, okay? Putting things to rest. There we go. I feel like putting things to rest. A lot of you, there's anxiety circulating around you regarding, whenever you're hit like with a major crossroad in your life, you panic because you feel like if I take one path, it's going to close off the other path for good. And I feel like the energy circulating around you is conducive for that. But at the same time, life is what you make of it, okay? So don't think of it as like opportunity cost. If I take route A, I'm going to miss out on all the abundance provided for me on route B. Well, in the greater scheme of things, I feel like we all end up at the same destination. So it is what we make of it, okay? So don't worry too much. I feel like you have some strong protection here. You are being guided on the right path, I feel. So don't worry, Cancers. So let me pull out the cards and see what, yeah. You have some very good financial stability coming through, which is really something that you need. I feel like with you, whenever there is financial stability, it allows you to make better decisions. This is just something I've noticed with a lot of the Cancer readings. When your financial base is rocky, you tend to like you get yourself in like a lot of anxiety, and a lot of just you get yourself really worked up. But once your financial stability starts to stabilize, you start to be very optimistic and just happy. So first of all, let's go over this spread. Um, let's talk about the past first. So going back to what I mentioned earlier, there is a very strong soul connection you have with another person. And this can play out as a relationship partner or a family situation, okay? So we have here the this is the Five of Wands, not the Five of Swords. You have the Five of Wands in the reverse, which is basically a lot of conflict subsiding in the past, which is a lot of truths being reached, compromises being made between you and another person, okay? And this, I feel like, for those of you who have been working, I feel like a lot of you are in environments that are very like dynamic, very high impact, where it's very busy. It's a really like busy energy where it's like everything is very, there's a great sense of urgency in your work environment. And I don't know in what capacity you're working, but it seems like there's a lot going on. It's a very fast paced, dynamic environment, and you have to make, split decisions. And I definitely feel that because everyone is in that, really stressful, tense environment, that you could unintentionally rub people the wrong way. And likewise, people could unintentionally rub you the wrong way. So I feel like a lot of you are kind of like, as a water sign, you're very good in emergencies. But I feel like working in this type of stressful environment for a long period of time, it makes you very jumpy and it makes you very antsy and it can affect your health, okay? So I feel like if you have like any type of digestive problems, if you have any type of just like really, if you find yourself very high strung and just anxious all the time, it could be the line of work that you're in. So, um, if you have family members, for example, and if you have like relationship partners that you're living with, just imagine going from work, home from work, and bringing this type of energy into your household. So just be mindful about the energies that because you're a water sign, you're receptive. Be mindful of the energies that you're bringing into your household. It can affect your health. It can also affect your relationships as well. So leave negativity at the door. And I would advise you, if you're like working in this type of environment, take some time to meditate before your shift and then after your shift so that you calm down, so that your energy subsides, so that you're not bringing this type of high strung energetic vibe into your home, affecting your relationships and affecting, potentially if you have children or if you have pets, they pick up on it. So, something to think about. What's coming through as well is I feel like for a lot of you, you might have had a conflict with an air sign. There might have been some worries, some obsessively thinking about, or some worries, and some type of weird energy with an air sign. And I'm trying to figure this out. The air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. I feel like there is like communication from them that might be cause for worry. It might have been in the past, but now that that situation is subsiding, there is more harmony within the relationship. There's more like stable communication or clear communication between you and the other person. I feel that they're at a place, because they're crossing this reading, it basically means that there might be some type of contractual agreement or some type of entanglement with an air sign where you feel a little bit like obligated to them to come back. You feel like they're blocking your progress in some way, okay? What's crowning this reading here is the Emperor. And the Emperor indicates that a lot of you are in a, you're crowning this reading, or the Emperor is crowning this reading. So a lot of you are aiming for a position of control. So I definitely feel the main thing that is causing discord in your social interaction is control. And what I mean by that is you're a water sign, And I feel like the elements that are showing up here are of a different elements than you. So there might be communication problems. There might be issues about control. If you're dealing with an air sign who is fiercely independent, for example, there might be control issues. And you're reassessing to see, why is there so much conflict in the past? What can we do to move forward? If you're dealing with an earth sign, because we do have a page of coins here, the earth sign indicates to me, this is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, but what it indicates to me is I feel almost as if there might be somebody blocking your progress in terms of your income generating potential. Okay. I feel that because we have the Nine of Swords in the reverse, which indicates the end to anxiety, the end to conflict, you have some help coming through for you, possibly from an air sign or from an earth sign, that is going to allow you to sail away from all of your problems. And it's a really beautiful energy, actually. So what I'm feeling is there is some information, some ideas coming through. And I'm going to say this, it might come through from a person, but I feel like there is a spiritual root to those ideas. I hope that makes sense to you. I feel for a lot of you, you are very, very finance focused, or you have been for a very long time. And, because of it, you might have accepted jobs that were really stressful just because they pay a lot. But the stress, the strain, the mental, I guess like the high strung, high impact environment that you're in might have been hurting your health, okay? Might have been just affecting your health negatively. So I feel like in the process of searching for wealth, you might not have put yourself in a good work environment. You might not have also sought out jobs that were where you were like properly employed. So this is basically with the page energy, it's like you have a lot of potential and your employers don't see that yet. And as a result of it, you might have been underemployed. You might have been paid less than your worth. You might have also settled in a job where you feel as if, the environment is dynamic, so I enjoy it. But I feel like you can do a lot better. And I feel almost as if you're like not satisfied with that stressful environment anymore. You just want a more stable job environment overall. So I feel like the universe is bringing you new opportunities in terms of work, new opportunities in terms of returning to school. And Aries got the same card, I feel, in the same position. So a lot of you might be going to school. A lot of you might be linked up with an Aries because we do have the Emperor here, which is a card of Aries overlooking this situation. So a lot of you might be involved with an Aries. I feel like somebody is giving you help, assistance in some way to sail over all of your problems and to move on to a better phase in your life. For those of you dealing with an air sign, I feel like there's some ideas that is being brought into your life from another person. And I feel like it is a person, but the person is getting insights from the spiritual realm. It seems to me as if there is an idea planted here coming from a person that is allowing you to build up your financial future. And the information is going to be really good for you. So whatever good project comes in from somebody that you trust, run with it, because they're giving you really, really good, they're giving you a way out. They're also giving you really good support and direction in terms of what you should do. So take this, okay, because it seems like to me to be very stable, very, very solid. There's no strings attached because we're dealing with someone who is very, very rational, who is like the truth seeker. And they also want to help people who want to help themselves, okay? So that's what I'm feeling here. There's some good ideas coming through. There's some help, very strong divine intervention coming through. But I feel like it has to come through a person that you trust. Otherwise, you won't go with it. Otherwise, you will recoil. So it's coming through spiritual guidance. It's coming through via a person, which is really strange. It's the first time I'm seeing this type of dynamic, but it's going to be really good for you. Allow you to sail away, to sail to safer haven. and especially to get some very, very strong like wishes fulfilled. I feel like it's like long-term planning. Get away from a destabilizing situation into something that is financially stable, that is going to bring you a lot of hope and happiness. Okay. For a lot of you, this might happen during that full moon phase. We have been going through eclipse season. I think the first one, the solar eclipse, was on the 8th. It might have come in on the 8th, or it might come in on the lunar eclipse, which is like, I believe, the 23rd, or it might even come in during the equinox, so on the 20th. So some information is coming through, run with it. It's going to be really good for you. Now, in terms of the advice here, we do have the Four of Pentacles, which is a card about power. And there's this website that I use to learn like tarot. And this is when I first started out. I was doing tarot readings and I was trying to learn. And this card, the person that interpreted the card, they say this is a card about power. And it's about, you know, they call it the miser card. It's somebody who's clinging very, very protectively to their money, their financial base, their financial resources. But it's also clinging on to earthly possessions. Okay, so the way I interpret this card is basically clinging on too tightly to earthly possessions, things of very, very little material value. Things of very little value beyond this world. And this is what it's trying to tell you. And I feel like there is a major dynamics here. I've been seeing this for cancers for quite a few months, where I feel like you're so like caught up in following the trail of the money. You're so caught up in putting yourselves in situations that were not favorable for you, because you were trying to build up a financial foundation for yourself. And for a lot of you, you might be, you know, very young watching this, doing the same thing. Or you might be, you know, very well into your old age doing the same thing. And the universe does want to remind you that these are earthly possessions that serve no real purpose beyond this world. And I know that it's like, I know that the advice seems very simplistic, especially if you're struggling financially. It just doesn't make sense for me to say that to somebody who's like struggling financially. But I do want you to know when enough is enough and to understand when enough is enough, okay? So what this means is basically, I feel there is something coming through for you that is going to allow you to change all of this. And it's like a swift 180, and it's a really good idea, and it's coming in from the divine. And I feel like a lot of you are not going to accept it. A lot of you are just going to be like, no, I don't trust it. I'm going to go my own way. I'm going to do what I've been doing, which is following the trail of the money. And you're declining the offer, or you're declining this situation because you are so fearful about your financial base. Okay, so really think about, for the next 2 weeks, if for those that, you know, this resonate, who resonate with this message, think about what ideas are coming through, where they're coming from, and how they're going to allow you to change your future. And I feel like for a lot of you, it would be okay for you to go with this idea, because I feel like you're being guided, you're being protected. So it's telling you to have faith. This series of like financial anxieties or anxieties around your financial base is coming to an end. There is something coming in to help you stabilize this once and for all, so that you don't need to worry about it later on. I don't feel it's an investment opportunity. I feel like it might be possibly a new job situation, a new training program, something long term to build up your knowledge base so that you can increase or enhance your income generating potential. This same card came out in the same position for Aries. And I feel like for Aries, it was like, you know, a dream that they've always wanted. For you, it's an idea coming in from another person, and it's something that is really good, and it's something that makes perfect sense. But for some reason, it couldn't come in any sooner than right now, because the timing is right for now. Okay, the timing is just perfect for now because a lot of you have swirled away some money, and I feel like you're at a place where you're kind of like almost at that threshold where you are completely financially stable. So the universe is telling you swirling things away is not going to do it. You need to have a better game plan, and you need to have like some long-term planning. It's not about working away every day to, make ends meet or to make a future for ourselves. It's about investing in our own selves, our own health, our own knowledge base in order to create a better future for ourselves. So I hope that message hits home for someone out there who are presented with, some good ideas here about self-investment rather than swirling money away, doing a job that we hate, being in a really stressful environment, and feeling like you're so tied to the money that you can't break out of it. So it's something that might have like affected your health in the past, and you're giving another opportunity. So I'm not going to dwell on it, but I feel like it's more about investing in human capital. It's more about investing in your own capabilities and your own potential. A lot of it has to be with like, going back to school. A lot of it is just enrolling in some type of training program where you get certification, where you are more desirable on the job market, where you get to pick and choose the type of work that you do so that you're not constantly following the trail of the money, and instead you're going to be sought out by people in positions of power. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling here. In terms of your external environment, we do have the Eight of Wands. I'm sorry, it's the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is a situation where this is different from the Rider-Waite deck because she's not blindfolded. So this creature in the middle is not blindfolded. So this creature sees the potential in the new situation, in the new idea that is presented. But this creature is like not budging because they're fearful. Both of these cards indicate to me a lot of fears and a lot of anxiety. And the fears and the anxieties is because I'm going to say they're not unfounded, but it's because like you've been through a lot in your past. A lot of you might have had multiple surgeries. A lot of you might have been in a situation where you've had to always scramble to make ends meet. And a lot of you are like just you're emerging from that place where you right now you have a little bit more than just enough. So you're starting to dream big, and you're just like, but I don't want to dream too big. What if everything is like ripped out from under me? So you're not budging. You're going to do the same old things and get the same old results because you don't trust the environment, and you don't trust that things can work out for you. Because I feel like last year was really, really bad, and I feel like and I feel like you're definitely seeing it because you're not blindfolded, but you don't trust it. So this is a month where the universe is asking you to have faith, okay? You have to have faith here. In terms of your hopes and fears, we do have the wish card in the reverse. This is basically you thinking, it's never going to happen for me. It's never going to happen. So why should I even try it? Why should I give up all this security that I have to, leap into something new? So it's forcing you basically have faith, Cancers, have faith. In terms of the outcome here, we have very good cards. First of all, we have a situation that you thought was like done and over with, but it's making a revival in your life. It's coming back. For some of you, this can be a person from the past where you've had a conflict with. They're coming in and they're offering something solid and concrete. For a lot of you, I feel like if you're dealing with an air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, yeah, especially if you're dealing with an air sign, this is a situation where there is a strong soul connection. And I feel almost as if there was a lot of conflict with that person. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of conflict as well. And the person is making a comeback in your life. And it's so strange. I keep getting this card for like multiple signs now. Something is making a comeback in your life. And I feel like for a lot of you as well, in terms of job situation, something